My name is Cody Spearman, and I'm here on March 13th, 2014 to share the history of chewing gum with you. We have all experienced the taste of many different types of gum, and today there are so many different brands and flavors of gum. For example, Juicy Fruit, 5 Gum, and Orbit. Now, those are just a few of the numerous brands of gum to chew. There are hundreds, maybe even thousands of flavors to choose from. But there were not always so many choices. People have been chewing gum-like substances for thousands of years. And unfortunately, there were not too many flavors to choose from back then. In most ancient times, they mainly chewed on lumps of tree resin. And I can only imagine how awful that tasted. But people were also accustomed to various sweet grasses, leaves, and grains, and even waxes, none of which sound too appeasing. It is no surprise that people wanted more tasteful substances to chew. So began the idea of chewing gum, a simple idea that has enticed the taste of millions. But where exactly were its beginnings, and just how did it become such a booming industry today? The history of chewing gum can be traced back to some of the greatest civilizations we know. According to Emma Green, in her article published by ChewingGumFacts.com, during the time of ancient Greeks, their people chewed on mesquite, the resin of trees. During the time of the ancient Mayans, their people preferred to chew a coagulated sap of the sapodilla tree. The North American Indians were found to be chewing on the sap of a spruce tree, so everybody chewed on sap. As you can see, there was not too much gum in ancient times. It was not much more than the sap of trees with very little to no flavor and very little history. Then arrived the early American settlers, and with them came the pursuit of business and money. John Bacon Curtis used the idea from the Native Americans who used the sap from the spruce trees to create a company. He and his brother worked together to find a way to make and sell the spruce gum to the public. By experimenting with the sap, they were able to make it into a sticky and rubbery substance that could be chewed. They continued by adding paraffin to make it softer and a little bit of flavor. In 1848, the first commercial chewing gum was sold by their company, known as State of Maine Pure Spruce Gum. Emma Green also speaks of Thomas Adams in great detail. In 1869, Mexican General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna told his idea of chicle to Thomas Adams. Adams tried to make toys, masks, and rain boots out of the chicle, but neither of its products were commercially successful. Just to be clear, chicle is the sap of the sapodilla tree used by the Mayans in the ancient times. So Adams eventually just decided to add flavor since nothing else was working, and soon enough he founded a company known as Adams and Sons. Everyone loved the flavored chicle, and it was becoming really popular among Americans. He also created the renowned Tutti Frutti gum. According to the official website of Wrigley Gum, William Wrigley Jr. was an incredible businessman. Wrigley founded his company in 1891 with his first 2 brands of gum, Loda and Vassar. In 1893, the well-known Juicy Fruit brand was released, and not long after that came Spearmint. It wasn't until 1914 that the world-famous Double Mint was created. Double Mint was made from chicle with mint and fruit extracts. The first factories were eventually established in the United States, and soon Wrigley's Double Mint factories were established in Canada in 1910, Australia in 1915, Great Britain in 1927, and New Zealand in 1939. Chewing gum has constantly been evolving new flavors and brands. Today we have an incredible variety to choose from. One example is 5 Gum, which I held up earlier for all of you to see. This is one of the famous Wrigley brands and was introduced in 2007. 5 Gum came out with the well-known marketing phrase, "Stimulate your senses." It has been growing and releasing new flavors every year to this date. Another example of chewing gum today is Extra, which I have a pack of it right here. 5 Gum came out. This gum was also a brand created by Wrigley's. Launched in 1984 with flavors of spearmint and peppermint, this gum quickly became the #1 sugar-free gum in the entire world. This gum comes in a variety of unlikely flavors, such as peach cobbler, raspberry vanilla cupcake, and even lemon squares. A third example would be Orbit, which is the one I held up here earlier. This is yet another one of Wrigley's brands. It was launched in 1976 as the first sugar-free gum Wrigley's created. It's famous from the phrases, "just brush clean filling," and "dirty mouth, clean it up with Orbit." In 2007, it was the first gum to receive the American Dental Association's seal of acceptance, with nearly 20 years of research and demonstrating that the products help to fight cavities, strengthen teeth, and reduce harmful plaque acids. Wrigley's has been dominating the chewing gum market for quite a while now. So you know more than you ever will need to know about chewing gum after listening to me talk. It all started in ancient times as people chewed on unflavored sap of trees. When exploration and business began, settlers came out across the idea and made it into a business. Many people contributed to the evolution of flavors, ingredients, and popularity of chewing gum. Though William Wrigley obviously outdid all his competition, the marketing of chewing gum began with John Bacon Curtis and continues today with many different brands, most of them being owned by Wrigley. But no matter who makes the gum, there is bound to be a flavor that tastes better than the coagulated sap of a sapodilla tree. And that's it.